Hi, I'm Kathy Prezkop, and I want to talk to you about Art Giser's work, really. Discover your miraculous self. And as I think about this, the first thing I would want to know if somebody were talking to me was, why should I listen to you? I'm a person who has sought to better myself, to be the best person I can be throughout my life. I've got a lot of exciting, cool things about myself, and I also have some undertow behavior that sometimes stops me from being particularly successful. So I've been working on this for forever. That's just kind of how I roll. And certainly I've been involved in talk therapy into infinity, which is interesting. I like talk therapy. I ultimately became a therapist, but I don't think therapy, no matter how interesting it is, necessarily causes change in behavior. And sometimes when you see a pattern sitting there, you can do something to figure out how to do it more constructively. But there are many things that are not actually amenable to change through that system. However, Art Giser and his energetic NLP really is effective in behavioral change. And also one of the things I like about it is that it's not painful. I sometimes I equate struggle with progress. Like if I'm struggling hard enough, then I must be progressing. That's not actually true. I can struggle and I can struggle and I can struggle, but it doesn't, again, necessarily change things. And it's not a particularly fun way to live. What I know about Art is that he's got integrity, because people who deal with this kind of energy stuff, they have power with them and they share it with us, and that's good. But they also have the opportunity to misuse that power. I have known Art, 40, 45 years, a long time. I know him to be a person of integrity. He is a well-intentioned, and his behavior is correct behavior. He is a kind, bright person with integrity, which I think is huge. And the other thing is, energetic NLP is weird as hay, and it just works. What I suggest is, I tell you, I've known Art for a long time, and I knew he was doing workshops around the world, and I knew he was successful because we were friends, but I didn't really understand what he did. So a couple of years ago, he was doing a workshop in Los Angeles, and he invited me. It was Discovering Your Miraculous Self. And I went because I'm interested, and I'm interested in knowing what he's up to, etc. And that was actually my primary motivation. But when I walked into that room, and I felt the energy of the people who were in the room, it was just like buzzing. And I felt like I met people who are of comparable energy to myself, which is unusual. I am not, shall we say, your typical person. We did 3 days of work together, which, again, the hours were long. I was not used to being up that long in my life. And yet I just felt buzzy, powerful with energy over those 3 days. And I took that attitude home with me. It actually did create some pivotal changes in myself. Well, what I suggest to you is that there is no harm and no foul in checking out what he does and trying it. The worst that happens to you is you spend X amount of time deep breathing, and that's not going to hurt you. Any money you put into this, if you don't feel like it's a valid use of your money, you can get reimbursed. It's just, check it out. There is no reason not to try this. I have found it to be startlingly helpful. And again, painless and sometimes even fun. This is antithetical, as I say, to how I believe. I think you need to struggle. I need to struggle. No, not so much. Check it out. It's benefited me hugely. Art has got integrity. You've got nothing to lose. Carry on. Bye.